Okay, so this is Google Earth. This is where we stop. All right. Now we're going to look at how we can be able to do measurements with the Google Earth. Okay, you agree with me that what I said about the marketing strategy or presentation strategy is ability for you to actually make a clear display of all the proximity of the infrastructures or the utilities around that particular property that you want to market. Now, let's assume I'm making a reasonable assumption here. For example, if you look at the top here, is a menu, okay, which display a lot of menus about the Google Earth. Okay, now the next one here is a search. Now, a search is for you to type the name of the streets or the name of that particular properties or the facilities that you are looking for. But you know, it's not all the properties that the names is recognized on Google. So we have a nearby features, we have a nearby landmark that is being already in the Google that you can use so that you can locate the property. Or you somebody have to send you the coordinate of that particular property that you want to. So that will help you to easily locate that properties on the Google Earth. Without that, if you don't know the location physically, that is to say you don't know the structure physically, and you don't have the coordinates, no matter how they write the address of the site for you, you will not actually know that this is the building. So you need a coordinate, or you have to know the particular building, and then you know how you can be able to locate it. If not, coordinate is the only way that you can be able to look for a property that you don't have any information about. Okay, so now the coordinates are two words which comprises of x and y axis. Okay, so for example, if let's say I remove this, let's see. Now, as I say, coordinate comprises of x and y axis, which is going to be you are going to separate it with comma. Okay, so when you pick a coordinate, you see even any system that I use to pick the coordinate to be giving you into form. Then when you are typing it here, for example, this one I'm just making an example 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 5, comma 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Now you see that I separate between the x and y. I use comma to separate it. That is how you impute your coordinates. That is if you have the coordinate of the place. But if you don't have the coordinate of the place, then you have to use possibly the nearby landmark, okay, to actually locate it. All right. So having said that, then let's assume I just zoom to stadium now. Now let's assume you have been given an opportunity to market a stadium. The reason why I'm going there is I'm using that is just general features that everybody can understand, no matter the state you are. If I pick any property here in Kaduna, it might actually confuse you if you are not in Kaduna State. Okay, so let's assume you have been given an opportunity to market a property in Kaduna. Now this is Kaduna. Market the property in Abuja, and it happens that this stadium, that is the property you want to market, and then this is it. You have successfully located the property. Okay. Now, the first you need to do is that you go to a project. Now, this is what you use to search. This one will take us back to the Google Earth, the way it is from the beginning, and it's still the same thing with this. Now, this is the project. That is the one we're going to use. All right. So I click on the project. It displays the project. These are the projects that I have. That is what I have created so far. Okay, based on the property that I've searched so far. That is what is here. Then I want a new property. Now, I click on this new project here. All right, I click on this arrow, and then we say create a Google project, and then open a project from the Google Drive. and then we have create KML file. All right. So we are going to use create this KML file. All right. So I'll click on it, and then I can type the name of the site or the name of the project. I click, and let's say I type stadium. Okay. And if you can add the descriptions and all that, but that is not compulsory. So I'll go to, we have a new feature here. You see them, you see new feature here. I'll click on this arrow again, and then it display. We have add place mark. Add place mark means you just click and then add a mark, like just a point. You see, I just add a point here, and the point is on title place mark. I can call it, instead of title place mark, I can just call it National Stadium. Okay, sorry. All right. So now that is just the place mark I just placed. You see that the name have changed here. All right. That's just a place mark. Okay. Then we have additional features. You can change the color of the place mark. We are seeing here as in the style of it. This one is dot now. I can change it to a different symbols, okay, that represent it. And then you come down, you now have the longitude and the latitude of the place, okay, which is the coordinates of the place now. For example, now the coordinate, now the latitude is 9.00 9.038475, and then the longitude is 7.4550421. Okay. Now, if you copy, this is the altitude. Altitude is the height. We are not after that. We don't consider that. All right. So now let's assume somebody wants you to send him the coordinates of stadium. Let's assume your client now want to show him that particular stadium you are talking about. What is required for you only is to just copy this value, okay, and send to him. Call it longitude, latitude, and longitude, and send it to him. Okay, so if the person is GIS oriented, you can actually load it straight, and it will just open for him. Okay, or I have you can export it. Okay, I'll go back again. This is the national. This is the stadium. Now, under the stadium, I have a new feature where I use the place mark. If you click on the feature here again, you have draw line or shape. Okay, so I'll pick this, and then I'll draw. Let's assume I want to bring out the boundary of that stadium. Let's say I want this. Let me just considering the cycle here. Okay, based on the fact that I don't know the exact stadium size, so I can just follow it based on the shape we have here. I can just follow it like this and click and click and click until I close it. Okay, so see, I've closed it, and then I can still call it stadium, possibly stadium 2. Let's say 2. Okay, so I can differentiate it from the other one. Now, if I have that now, I'll go back. This is the stadium now, okay? So I'll click on it to open. All right. So if, let's assume I go back to my project, let's say I'm in this triple H. This is a different property. Now you have your clients. Okay, you just showed your client about this triple H. This is an estate that we use as our example during our last section on GIS for facility management. Okay, now this time around, I want to show your client and the stadium, and you have already created everything. You have prepared for the presentation, everything. So how do you do that? How will you zoom straight to that place now without necessarily searching and be putting coordinates? Now what you need to do, you just go back, you just click on that stadium. You see, it will just take you straight. So you see, now that movement, that simulation, that movement now, you can be able to create a video from it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain. Now, I have the stadium now, all right? Now, you can at the same time send a KML file by going to this place, okay? And then say export as KML, all right? You export it as KML. So if I click export as KML, it will automatically download, okay? It automatically download the file. As you can see, it download it. So if you go to under your download now, you see this file. So you can send this file now. You can send this particular file to your client. And if your client click on it, either with his phone, it will immediately load it, take the person using the Google Earth or Google Map straight to that location. Okay, so that is another way where you can share the location of your property to your client. Okay, now, so having shown that, now we look at the possibility of calculating the distance or the proximity analysis between the properties and then the existing features. Okay, now this is the stadium, and then we have if you look at it, we have a national hospital here. Okay, so now let's assume this is a property you are marketing, and then you want to show your client, okay, this is a national hospital. That is to say, okay, there's a closeness between the property I'm marketing to you and the national hospital. And then how will you prove that? How will you know the kilometer it's covered? Because you cannot just use your eye gauge. So how will you do? The last icon here, measure distance and area. If you click on it, okay, if you click on it, if I click on, let's say from the center of the stadium to the national hospital, now it automatically give me that the distance is 974.19 meter. So you see, it's very, very close. Okay, it's very, very close to the stadium. Okay, and then at the same time, you can still go back and then click. You can still go back and look for, let's say we have a Jabi Park here. For example, this Jabi Park. You want to know the closeness, how far is the stadium to Jabi Park? Okay, so now there are different ways of you doing that. If you say you should follow, you can follow the route that move to that place, but that has to do with proximity analysis. This is Utako. Okay, if you say you should follow the route, that would actually give you the exact measurement when you talk about the kilometer movement, because the person actually need to know how, if you want to move. So it's not taking a flight. So it's not something that you say you are drawing a straight line, like the way I draw from here to the national stadium, right? So you have to follow the route that it is be followed to go to that place for you to know the kilometer that is covering. But now with the eye move, okay, with the eye gauge or with your eye visualization, you can actually see, okay, this is stadium here, and then we're having Idu somewhere here, we're having Karemu, we're having Metama, okay, we're having Use here and all that, okay. So now you look at the proximity, you have the central business district here. So you look at the proximity, how close is those properties to that particular market. You have close to those property to a school. From here, you can see any available schools that are in Google, and then at the same time, even the ones that are not in Google, possibly with your physical experience, you can actually locate them. Even if they are not in the Google, you can actually locate them. For the sake of presentation, you can just place a place mark on it and then label it the name of the school, so that when you are making that presentation to your client, you can show him, okay, this is so private school here, this is so government school, this is also universities and all that, so that you know that, okay, this is property is very, very close to some certain amenities that can increase the value of his properties. Okay, so this is how you can be able to take a distance. So for example, if you want to take, let's say this is the stadium now. If you want to follow, maybe I want to get a distance from stadium to this community, this settlement here. Okay, this Sabo Kunwaba. Okay, this like a kind of old settlement, because if you look at the arrangement, okay, it's not a well planned layout, right? So you know that it's not it's an old settlement. Okay, so now all this has to do with how it prompts or it affects your decisions, or it informs your decisions in terms of settling or placing the kind of properties, or advising your client on where to buy properties. Okay, now, but this, for example, if I want to follow the road and get a distance, I'll pick my line and then I follow it. Okay, I can click and be following the road. Okay, I can zoom and increase your zoom again, and then follow the road. Or let's say up to this where I have their access here, the access road to the community. And then if we now we're having about 3,491.38 meters. Okay, if you convert it, you know how many kilometers it takes you to be there. And then if you want to continue, you can continue here. And as you are clicking, the value, the measurement will be increasing. Okay, and then at the same time, I says that we can be able to see the visualization of that place by just dragging the symbols, okay, the woman symbol there, and then drop it, and then it will open your 3D to actually see that location. So you can see the place.